All right, let's talk the Exalt GoPro Goggle mount. My name's Greg, you're watching How to Play Paintball. So Exalt was nice enough to send out actually two, so I'm holding on to one of these and I'm gonna be giving away one, so make sure that you stay tuned throughout the video, see how it is that you can go ahead and enter. But basically with the GoPro mounts, what I really like with the Exalt version is one, it's not heavy, so that's definitely a plus, but it also comes with numerous different screws. If you look at the actual plate itself, the mount itself has a bunch of different options because not all of the venting systems are all the same in each of the goggles. So this way you're able to have something that is gonna fit your particular goggle and not gonna be moving around. So like for my i5s that I've been using, I only use the two screws on, I think it's the second one on the inside, but there's a couple other options that you have. So what's great is that all of those screws are all included. So you have a bunch of different ones. So if you wanted to really clamp it down and have, you know, like 4 or 5 different screws, 6 different screws in there to hold everything in, you can go ahead and do that. I just used 2 and it seemed to work just fine. I was able to tighten it down enough and there wasn't any issues. The one thing that I will say is thank you Exalt for sending it with a Allen key. Let's face it, I have an Allen key set here and there is one missing. Actually, 2 missing. I don't know where these other 2 are right now. That's just how paintball works sometimes, is that you end up missing Allen keys. So for them to send out a GoPro mount is awesome with all the tools that you need. So that's definitely a plus. It does fit with the regular GoPro thumb screw, so if you wanted to use that instead, I would prefer to use the one that it comes with, just because it's not gonna have a knob sticking out. But some people might like to use that because they wanna swap things out quicker. It's all gonna be up to you, so you do have that option. So actually putting it onto your goggle is super simple. You just find what screws are gonna fit best for your particular goggle system. What I did was I went ahead and set the screws up, or put the actual GoPro mount onto my goggles, and you look and see where is it that the vents are going to fit up, so that way it's going to be right in the middle of your mask and still be able to go through those venting systems, and then you just screw it in there. It's really simple. Like I said, the screw and Allen key set is all in there, so you can just put all that all together for you. So when I'm shooting my barrel cam stuff, I use the GoPro Session. I used to use the OpKicks, but it kind of just died and I think the company went out of business. But a lot of companies use the GoPro mounting system. So even like I have a Insta360. Yes, I saw Yaya from Heat using it and I was like, oh, that looks awesome. So I went and grabbed one of these and this fits perfect with that whole system, and I'll have some footage in here for you as well so you can see. But something that you want to remember is where you're putting the goggle and how it is that you play. When I had used these before, I had it where of course, the goggle is, it's right here. One of the issues with paintball is you have your loader right there. So yes, you get the shot of if you're running, you can look at where it is that you're shooting, but you have to think about the GoPro is usually looking right in the back of your hopper. So if you have 2 cameras, where you have one on the barrel and one on your goggle, yeah, that's gonna work out great. But if you use a 360 or something that's a little bit taller, you have to understand that you're giving up a little bit of that sneakiness, because the actual camera is going to stand a little bit taller. But I've had huge success with it. So I just went on eBay and found one of the cheaper versions. I know that they're at like the 360 X3 or whatever version they have now. I bought one of the earlier ones and it works fantastic. And with this system, it almost looks like I had like a cameraman floating here. And you can have it where the camera is looking at different sections. It looks great. But maybe you play in the woods and you do like MagFed or something like that. This is going to work awesome because there's no loader. You don't have to worry about the loader in the back. So thinking about purchasing, you just want to think about, okay, what is it that I am using this for? Because if I'm just gonna be staring at the back of my loader, that's not helpful. But if I'm using it where I have, you know, one GoPro or some sort of camera that has the GoPro attachment on my goggles as well as on my barrel, some people have them where they're like off to the side. I don't really like that just because it's really sticking out, but that's just me. Some people don't really care and they wanna have, you know, 3 different cameras and then they can capture everything. by all means, go for it. But just know what it is that you're getting into. So one thing I will say with this, when I was testing it out, usually what I like to do is when I get done playing, I'll rinse off my goggles, take the lens out, make sure that I don't just want to have stains on my lenses, because if you leave the paint on there too long, all that fun stuff. Something that I noticed is that when this gets wet, if you let it stay wet for a while, the actual screw itself started to rust a little bit. It didn't affect the performance because I was able to unscrew it and do whatever. It was fine, but over time that could cause issues. So just know that if you are using this, to make sure that if you do get it wet, just to dry it off real quick. Or you could always just, maybe go and buy a stainless steel of the screw itself, or just using one of these thumb ones. Maybe it doesn't matter to you about that. The actual aluminum itself didn't have any issues. It was only the screw had a little bit of rust on it. So just to keep in the back of your mind with that. So how it is that you're gonna be able to go ahead and enter is you need to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you like this video, and put a comment down below about what type of camera would you be using with this mount. Once you do that, go ahead and shoot me over an email at howtoplaypaintball05@gmail.com. Just put giveaway in the title. I'll put the time frame, whatever, around my head somewhere when I'll be sending out the email for the winner. I'll go ahead and contact you and get this shipped out with some extra goodies. I'm thinking I'm going to include some other stuff in there too, but for sure it's going to have the actual GoPro mount. The other thing is make sure that if you are international, you are going to have to help with shipping, just because domestic shipping is a lot easier for me than international. That's just kind of the nature of the beast, sorry. But if you're fine with that, go ahead and enter. And the last thing that I'll say is my members are gonna be able to get extra entries. So if you're part of the watch tier, you'll get 1 extra entry. Learn tier, you get 2 extra entries. And the win tier, you get 3 extra entries. So just have a higher chance of winning. So good luck to everyone that is entering. Thank you so much for watching. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. But as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.